get paid more when you take a vacation.
I'm about to take hell. I'm about to take one now. No, I'm about to tell Virginia now.
Take mine first week of September.
Being streaming. Record.
And we're back. I hope you guys missed us. From my perspective, your boy Durag D is in the building. We got a lot of NBA, a lot of just a lot of basketball talk in general. We haven't officially closed the book on the last NBA offseason. You know, the Olympics kind of got in the way, but we like that. We like talking about basketball. And you know what's crazy, Q? The next season is around the corner. But how you doing?
Hey man, what to do? What it is? You already know this. You already know it's your boy, Mr. Bell, aka can't say your name up on the spot, man. You know, you the football dude on the spot.
Hmm?
I'm the basketball dude. I love basketball. And to be honest, it's over. Don't get me wrong. WNBA kicks back. I thought it was supposed to start tonight, but I ain't seen no games or nothing. But I know it kicks back tomorrow for sure. But even that, it's they got a couple more weeks in this playoff time. They
Huh?
about to wrap it up too. So it's really full fledged football. College football week 0 is next week. I don't even know if you knew that or not. It's
Huh? It's we hot. We hot and ready like a little Caesar's pizza.
not
But,
do
but
that.
we have to close the book on the Olympics.
I do
The
that really be hot and ready though, because a couple times I've been in Little Caesars recently a couple times and my food was not hot or nor ready.
Oh man, they don't pay us no bread to give him no sponsorship, my man.
Question, all right, my bad, go ahead.
But we got to close the book on the Olympics. Team USA, we pulled it out. The men, they pulled it out against France, and the women, nearly by a toe, pulling it out against France. Go ahead and start with the men. It was a little bit slightly different than the game against Serbia. Serbia dominated most of the game. We had to come back. The team USA was winning a lot, but they just could not get that nice lead because France would not go away. And then that light skinned man started doing his thing, started hitting crazy shots, started hitting step back deep threes with two people on them and putting the team to sleep. But they pulled it out. They won the gold. It was rough at times, but they pulled it out and won the gold. So shout out to Team USA. What are your thoughts? How you feel about it? And give me a little how you feel about the next Olympics in 4 years in LA. How you feeling about that one as well?
So you know I already got a roster ready for the next Olympics. I was gonna run it back you. But as far as I felt about this, for the men, I knew it was I thought it was going I knew it was gonna be a tough battle. I knew it was gonna be because simple fact, right? Let's keep it real. France was the home country. They got Big Wimby, L Slim out here going to do amazing things every chance he get, right? Goldberg, you knew he was gonna show up at some point in these Olympics. He was going to do something because he worked for this. Him and Batum, they worked for this. They've been aiming for this. They've been playing together all these summers, all these FIBA events, these world events, these Olympic events. They've been building towards this event in their home country. So you knew the game versus them was going to be tough, right? But that man Steph, that man Curry did his thing. It was one of them threes that if you watch the instant replay, he was getting double teamed. We knew he was about to shoot, and Kevin Durant knew he was about to shoot. But LeBron was calling for the ball like because he was open. But Kevin Durant was like, "Shit, I already know what's about to happen. I already know what it is. Let me just
He hot.
let me." Kevin Durant, I play with dude. I know what it is. It's about to. I ain't even going to the basket to get the rebound because I know it's going in.
Hey, the man was hot.
I think for me personally, I think Steph needed not needed, but I think it cemented his legacy. This Olympic run in the championship they won without Kevin Durant. I think it cemented his legacy as the all time great. Honestly, he's really a top 10 now.
Oh yeah.
If you sit back and think about it now, Steph is a top 10 because he got to actually shooting. I know 3-point shot came late on, but still, he's the greatest shooter of all time. Just a pure shooter. He's the greatest of all time. And then now he got 4 championships. He got a unanimous MVP. He got multiple MVPs. I think this put him in that top tier, that top 10 conversation. LeBron, we already knew what it was. LeBron got the gold medal MVP, which is kind of weird. It's the only third time doing it. I don't even understand why they even doing it. But you knew what it was with LeBron. LeBron's all-time great. He's probably number 2. Matter of fact, I was arguing with a guy, my Laker fan. He talking about, he don't think it's close between Michael and LeBron. He thinks LeBron is by far the number 1, but that's neither here nor there. But I think this situation, this medal, helped Steph Curry go all the way. Helped him push him in that top 10. Now he's in the conversations with your Magics, your Larrys, your Shaquille O'Neals. I think that puts him. I don't think it puts him up there with your LeBrons, your Michaels, and your Kareems, but I do think it puts him in that next tier. Like I said, your Magic, your Tim Duncan's. That's the name I was forgetting. Tim Duncan. I think it puts him in your next tier. Also, oh no, and then I do want to give a shout out to friends because, they put up a fight. They wasn't expected. Because they got it together. Because in the pool play or whatever they call it, the group stage, that's what they call it, the group stage. In the group stage, friends didn't look that good, but they pulled it together, got into the tournament, and they played better. They put Gobert to the bench. But in the championship game, Gobert was setting them screens, the high pick and roll. That's what was getting France a lot of them buckets.
Yeah, they was countering a lot of those Steph threes, especially at the late, but it was just that one dagger that killed them. So it feels good for USA to get that goal. France with the silver, Syria, they end up with the bronze. So you said you got a list for 2028 LA. Let me hear what you got.
You ready for the list? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta do it like this. Because I know it's 12. So I got to do it with my fingers. All right. First is going to be I'm doing it with the point guards. Tyrese and Jalen Brunson.
And by the way, you got Tyrese. It was reported that he was hurt. That's why he wasn't getting no minutes. So I know you was a little salty about that.
I still think Steve Kerr should have got, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think Eric Spoelstra is going to be, it's expected Eric Spoelstra is going to be the next coach. Steve Kerr is going to hang it up. But Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson, they give you the opposite. Tyrese can run them. He could be your running point guard. Jalen Brunson could be your slow it down half court point guard. Pick which one you want to roll. You pick which offense you want to go with compared to what team you playing. All right. So now Tyrese and Jalen, you got to bring Ant back. That's a guarantee. You got to bring Devin Booker back. I know some people saying Tatum might not play, but I believe Tatum is going to play. So you put in Tatum, you put in Jaylen Brown. I'm already at 6. I only got 6 more to go. I'm going Zion Williamson if he stay healthy. I know that's a big if.
The big if, and stay away from them women.
I know. I'm going Chat because you need Chat just to play Wemby.
Yeah.
You need Bam. I personally think we take Pablo Banchero because he played in that world. I think he'll be a good fit. That's 10. So here's my 11th and 12th. My 12th is either Anthony Davis or Joel Embiid. I know both of them's gonna be 34, and I know both of them ain't got the best health situation. And I know Embiid's talking about playing for Cameroon. Matter of fact, he just got honored in Cameroon today.
Yeah.
So I know he might play for Cameroon. But if we need one of them.
We need somebody big down there.
Because who know what Joker gonna do? Because Joker might play and Joker's still gonna be Joker. Because Joker's game is gonna age because he don't jump. Joker's game shows no effort. It's all mental, and it's mental and skill. It ain't a lot of physical instruction, physical at work. I can't pronounce the word I'm trying to say, but it's a lot of physical. It's not a lot of physical. It's a lot of mental. It's a lot of mental. And the other name is between two people. And one of them if he can stay out of trouble, and the other one is if he stay healthy.
Okay.
John Morant or LaMelo Ball.
Okay.
I also could see. Also, I'm gonna throw out two other names. Well, I can't. Yeah, two other names, and they role players because they talk about how you don't need a bunch of stars. So I'm gonna name out two role players. They play for the same team, which is crazy. Herb Jones played for New England, not New England, New Orleans Pelicans, and Troy Murphy, the third, that also plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. I was just watching preseason football of the New England Patriots. That's why I keep the New Orleans Pelicans.
Gotcha.
You need Derek White. Hey, you need somebody that's going to just play their role, play some defense, shoot the three. So if you don't get Pablo Barcaro, and you can't get like I said, John Moran stay out of trouble, or even LaMelo Ball stay hurt. One of them two, hey, we're gonna bring you out here, y'all long, lengthy defenders. Y'all can play the 2, 3, or the 4, and y'all know how to just shoot, and y'all can play y'all role. So I got the 10 for sure. That 11th and 12th, you're gonna need another big, honestly.
I agree with you. I don't not like any of those picks. Obviously, you got Ja Morant. When people was putting predictions out, he was one of the ones that was left out of most of them, and everybody was like, "What about Ja Morant? Again, you gotta stay out of trouble. I think he will." And again, you gotta make sure these guys fit together. You can't just put a bunch of superstars out there together and hope they're good. Ja Morant, he's a ball heavy point guard, unlike the other ones that you mentioned. So we'll see. But I do like the team. I do think the world is catching up. I do think the chances of winning another gold is going to be a little harder, especially since we probably won't have LeBron, Kevin Durant, or Steph Curry. Only person I can maybe see playing of those three is Kevin Durant. That's just because I know he loves basketball that much, but kind of reserved now about it because he's over there talking about retirement in interviews now because there's all these young players coming in the league. So I doubt that any three of those play next Olympics. But hey, we want to go. They dominated. You had your great list of teams that's going to probably play in 2028. But let's talk about the absolute domination of the women.
Hold on, real quick, real quick. Kevin Durant talking about retirement. He
Yep.
is 35.
Yeah.
4 years he'll be 39. I get LeBron just played. I know it sounds crazy. LeBron just played the Olympics at 39 and won the MVP situation, but still, most dudes. I was telling my son this the other day. You got to praise like your Kevin Durant's, your Steph's, and even of course your LeBron's. Chris Paul too. Hell, this around this time, dudes start slowing down.
Yeah, but that's about when my favorite player started to slow down. Obviously, the game's a little bit differently now. Wade's game was predicated on getting to the rim, putting his body on the line.
Yeah,
So his knees went out on him.
I was gonna say once Dwayne Wade, that's me and you both. That's our favorite player. Once his knees went, his game went. He didn't learn like Jason Kidd learned how to shoot over time. LeBron's jumping to get better. D Wade, the thing he never his jumper never got better.
Uh,
It kind of pretty much it stayed the same. It was always decent,
yeah,
but it was never good.
it was enough to respect it, but not enough to fear that you feared it. So hey,
It was enough that it would get you on the pump fake every once in a while.
you,
But you gotta praise them dudes because a lot, like I said, they career start slowing down. Matter of fact, dudes don't even be playing till they 35.
a lot of them is now, but that's just because they good and they take care of their bodies. Pete, they're putting millions of dollars into their bodies right now.
So Kevin Durant talking about retirement. I mean, at some point, Kevin Durant gonna want to do something else. So not dude. Now,
Whatever he does, he's a single, far as I know, single man with no kids. Basketball. The man was in the club working on his form. The man loves basketball, bro.
They say that's all he, bro. They say what he said. He plays basketball, get on Twitter and respond to people. It was something else that he does, but that's it. He don't do too much of nothing else. I know he just bought that soccer team over, well, bought a minority share in that soccer team while he was over in Paris. So he
in that
doing some
investment.
investment. He does invest. He does invest. That I know. Well, I've read.
But yeah, so as I was saying, back to the dominance, it's the women that are dominating as they have won their eighth straight gold medal and their 61st win in a row. That's what you call a domination. That's what you call a dynasty. But that 61 victory, it was a tough one. There was times I'm thinking, I don't know. I was, it was looking shaky for him. The ball was not going into the hole for the women. Asia Wilson was missing some easy ones down low, but they somehow pulled it out. And shout out to Miss Williams. She had a toe on the line to send it to overtime, and she hit it, but she had a toe on the line. She wanted to send it to overtime. She needed a three, but she got a two. She banked it in, but it was just unlucky. But France, we got a 1 point victory over them to get gold medal. What was your reaction to that? And once you get, I have a list of 2028s, but give me your reaction to how you felt about that. It was shaky the whole game.
So my sister, she called me because I had to do something, so I missed like the first. I think I missed the first half, or yeah, I missed the first half. And she was like, "So what happened? You said it was gonna be a blowout. It's not a blowout." I said, "What you mean?" So I had just got in the house. I turned on the TV. I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! What's going on? This ain't this ain't the same USA women that I have grown to see, a love and appreciate. Oh, what y'all doing?" And like I told my sister, because my sister keep bringing it up, thought you said it was gonna be a blowout. Thought you said it was gonna be a blowout. I didn't. For the men, I accounted for home court being something.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't account for the home court for the women. I guess because I just assumed the USA women was just gonna dominate regardless. I'm assuming that's what it was, but I didn't really account for that because I still thought, they would blow them out because they blow. Come on, Deion, they blow everybody out. So when they
In their 61 game streak, I believe this was the third game that was by less than 10 points of all those 61 games. And one of them was 8 points. The other one I think was three, and this one was one. So dominating.
they blow everybody, I wasn't expecting this game to be close, and at points I'm just like, I'm just over here nail biting and stuff. Like, 'cause I'm nervous. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought France was gonna win. If she had hit that three and it went into overtime, bro, we would have lost.
It was
Just straight up,
the crowd would have went crazy.
And you think it would have been a story if the men lost? No, there's history of them losing in the gold medal game recently, but the women losing in the gold medal game, oh, that would have. It would have headlined Sports Center, and women's basketball don't never headline Sports Center. This would have headlined Sports Center because it's a major deal. It probably would have headlined for like 2 days,
Oh yeah.
and then they would start questioning like what's wrong with the women. Then it's go. Then I'm glad they didn't win. I'm glad they didn't lose because then it would have been a question of, well, why wasn't Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark on the team? It would have been a big.
That's exactly what would have happened right there.
So I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't lose. I'm glad they won. I don't know what was going on with Asia Wilson. I seen her and Bam after the Olympics shopping in Paris. I don't know if maybe Bam fucking up. Don't mess her up, dog. Just
We need her for T. And the Las Vegas Aces need her as well.
I'm just talking junk. I'm just talking junk. But nah, for real, shout out to the both of them. But yeah, I don't know. Damn. Now I can't think of her name. I had her name.
Copper.
Thank you.
Yeah. God.
She saved us.
Yeah. Hey, she saved us.
She saved us. Somebody, if it was a, I don't know if they do the women's MVP like they did the men's. Like I said, the men's is kind of here and there, but she definitely deserved it.
Because boy, whew, she put the country on her back.
literally. He literally put the country on her back. But yeah, nah, I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous. Nail bite the whole time.
So now I feel the kind of the opposite in terms of for the men, I'm not as confident that the men can get another gold medal in the next Olympics. For this one, for the women,
That's
I
funny.
am 10 times more confident. As soon as the game ended, in my head I'm thinking this was probably the world's best shit. Now, obviously, I don't know what was out there with the rest of the world. This is just me with a little tunnel vision. But I feel like knowing what we got coming so soon, coming down the pipe, felt like this was the world's best chance to get us. Because coming up in 2028, this roster sounds incredible. Some of these ladies are still in college, but you got Paige Buckers still in UConn. And we also, got Caitlin Clark. People say that
I,
she should have.
I understand why you didn't name Caitlyn first.
I'm just going with what I got on my list. But yeah,
Okay, okay. I understand why you didn't name Caitlyn first.
nah. But you got Caitlin Clark. Obviously, some people say she should have been in this one. You got Sabrina Hunescu, who was on this team. She's a great shooter. She gave Steph a run for his money in a 3-point contest last All Star break. Kelsey Plum, she hit some big threes in this game. She'll be 33, still young enough to be in the Olympics. This one is what I'm most excited for right here. Miss Juju Watkins
Oh yeah, yeah, Juju.
from USC. Now she gonna be a problem. She's I think six. She's the height 6'4". She's a forward height with guard skills on the women's side. That's a problem for the rest of the world. And whoever gets her for the WNBA, she's gonna be a future #1 overall pick. But got her there. Jackie Young, she was on the team this year. Uh, Miss Caller, I don't know how to pronounce her first name. She was on the team this year. Sorry. Obviously, we talked about the lady that put the team on the back. We gotta bring it back. We gotta bring back Miss Copper. I'm sorry.
That's without question.
Um, Aaliyah Boston, big, and now I'm down to the bigs again. Angel Reese, she's got to come. We need some more defense. Brianna Stewart and Asia Wilson. Now, my I feel like with some of the bigs, we can probably maybe replace one of them with Cameron Brink.
Also,
So that's an option. She's on my should be list, but I just named these are the ones that I feel like it's gonna be either Aaliyah Boston or Cameron Brink. But I forget when I first made the list, I forgot about Brianna Stewart. Then I was looking at Ross and was like, damn, I can't leave her off. So it was like, Brianna Stewart or Cameron Brink. So I just put Brianna Stewart on this list. But I think Cameron Brink has a strong chance. But that potential roster, I don't know what the rest of the world got, but I don't know who beating that team.
I agree with your list. I don't think nobody gonna beat it. Here's my question. Well, it's not my question. It's more of a concern because I don't know if Juju will make it
You don't think she'll make?
because from what you read, like
Yeah.
I know from what I read, there's a lot of political stuff that goes around selections of the WNBA players,
Okay.
and they try to get like vets in it
Yep.
amongst other issues. Juju would just she would just be finishing her rookie year.
She'll be 23.
Yeah, she'll be finishing her rookie year because she going on her sophomore year now, so she'll be a sophomore, junior, senior. Then her rookie year. I don't know if they will pick her. They should. I'm just saying I don't know if they will.
They
That's
should. They should. I mean, I know there was some people saying, Miss Dawn Staley, she said they kind of regret not picking Caitlin Clark, but hey, maybe hindsight is 2020. They'll realize the mistakes of their ways this time around. 'Cause, I mean, there was some people, man, like you, not to disrespect one of the goats, Miss DT Diana Taurasi. She didn't play a minute in that game. I mean, I understand you don't play everybody, but
don't get me started.
come on now, he probably could put Clean Clark. But again, I don't know who's beating that team. I don't think the world stands a chance against that team in the next Olympics. So I fully expect that winning streak to grow even more. But we do all know all good things must come to an end. So before we switch over to our next topic, how long you think this winning streak can get for the women?
for sure got another 3. Well, let me say for sure another 2 because Angel and Caitlyn both is 23. Aaliyah Boston ain't up but like 24. And then Cameron Brink is young, and then Paige is coming. Juju, even if she don't make the next one, she gonna make the following 2. So they got at least the next 2 to 3.
Okay, my question is, okay, so you got us winning, so that'd be 8, 9, 10, 11, probably 11 golds, 11, 12 golds in a row. Do you think they even lose a game? Because you got poor play. You think they'll lose a game anywhere between, or you think they just breeze straight through it still?
Again, this is me, I guess. With I have more confidence in the women than I do in the men. So no, I don't think they're gonna lose a game. The men, on the other hand, they're gonna lose a bunch of games coming up. Let's just be real. They're gonna lose a bunch.
Pool play, or group stage is gonna be tough, especially if they draw a gauntlet like a getting in there with France or something. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be
Yeah.
rough in the next couple of years. But hey, that'll wrap it up for the Olympics. The Olympics was a great time. I enjoyed it. I watched all the sports, not all the sports, but I tried to watch as many sports as I could. There was some good ones, some bad ones, breakdancing, bad ones. They got some nice ones coming up. They got flag football in next one. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm interested to see if these NFL owners and GMs is going to allow these NFL players to go over there. I'll be shocked. But hey, that's a topic for 4 years from now. And but we'll get there. But it's time to move on. And while we got a little second, what? Q didn't tell me till late that last episode was our 50th episode.
Yeah, my bad. I meant to tell you before.
We could have celebrated, but we're gonna celebrate 51. Women got 61 victories in a row. This is our 51st podcast. We 10 behind the women. Shout out from my perspective. We doing our thing. But let's move over to the NBA. I know you said the NBA season is pretty much basketball season is pretty much done. We about to be no basketball for a while as soon as the women get done. But basketball season is also around the corner. They go back to training camp in like a month. And then in like 2 months, they start playing games that matter. So before we get to that, we got to talk about the offseason. We didn't talk about much about it. There was some hits, there was some miss, some teams did some good things, some teams did some bad things. Who's your winners and losers of the NBA offseason of 2024?
Okay, the number one winner, I guess you got to go with Philadelphia because they got the prize free agent in Paul George. That's where he was the star of the offseason. 76ers got him. So in turn, obviously the Clippers got to be a loser because in fact, what are y'all doing? Y'all going into this new arena with James Harden, which cool, ain't the same player, ain't the same James Harden of Houston. Also with Kawhi Leonard, who is always banged up. So what are y'all doing? So obviously, the obvious winner is Philly. The obvious loser is the LA Clippers. Now let's go on to some other teams. Another winner for me, personally, I'm gonna say Boston. And the reason I'm gonna say is Boston is because they didn't lose nothing.
Okay.
You just won a championship and you didn't lose none of your core pieces. You didn't really lose none of your reserve pieces that really matter neither. You ain't lose your ninth and your 10th man neither. So I'm gonna go with Boston as a winner. A loser I'm gonna go with is the Denver Nuggets. Why? Because they lost they lost him to the Orlando Magic. Now I can't think of his name. But
I got you.
you said what?
I got you. Give me a second. I got all these grades and stuff, all the NBA teams.
So, but yeah,
KCP,
thanks.
Justin Holiday, and Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, well, Reggie Jackson, I ain't really. But they lost. No offense to Reggie Jackson. No offense. I'm just not like, yeah. But no, they lost KCP, and then they banking on the rookies and the young dudes to play them. But they got a coach that don't like to play young dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So the GM's basically saying, "Now you're gonna have to play these players on a pick. Might be a little conflict. It's gonna take a little time, a little growing pains. Blah 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 blah." So I'm gonna count them as a loser. One more win I'm gonna give you is the New York Knicks because I mean they had the highlight. They didn't get the prize free agent, but they got the style trade.
Hmm.
So you know they get them Villanova boys, putting them all together. And my third loser, it's kind of hard for me to pick which team I'm gonna pick, but I'm gonna go with the. I was about to say the Phoenix Suns. Nah, you know what? I know I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bulls because you traded DeMar DeRozan, but you still got this one dude on your roster that don't nobody want, and he's unhappy because he feel like everybody's blaming him because y'all losing, which he, when he was off the court, they did play a little better. I don't,
Yeah.
it's just what happened. Not saying it's his fault. I'm just saying what happened. But and then y'all traded Alex Caruso. Y'all didn't get a first. Y'all didn't get a first round pick. Y'all just took Giddy. And let's be real, he don't play no defense and he can't shoot.
Oh,
So I mean, he a playmaker, but he can't shoot or play defense. And y'all just pay him. So y'all should have got a first round pick out of that, but y'all didn't.
what? I'm confused. Where the Rosen go again?
Sacramento.
That's right. I'm tripping. I'm over here. I remember them trading, but Chicago,
What
they've been whatever since 1998. I don't know. They've had one good year with Derrick Rose since 1998.
they
Which,
had them Noah and Rose runs. After that, it's been kind of like, bro, what
uh,
you?
I I absolutely agree with you. The LA Clippers is probably the biggest losers, especially them going into a big arena. They didn't give anything exciting, or not big, a new arena. They didn't give anything for their fans to be excited about. I mean, they'll probably still do some good ticket numbers. It's new. A lot of people like go to new stuff. You still got Kawhi, and that's good. But I mean, exciting. Y'all was a championship contender the last couple years. Now y'all probably gonna be fighting for a playing spot with the other LA team, which I think is another loser. They didn't do anything to get better. They're basically running it back with a couple rookies, and running it back is not good. Obviously, you got LeBron. I understand you have LeBron, but that at 39-year-old LeBron ain't enough. I know you saw what he did in the Olympics, but you know who he had around him? He had Kevin Durant. He had Steph Curry. He had all those great players around him. He can do that when he got great players around him. All he got is AD, Dalton, Connect, and his son around him. Okay. All right, we'll see what you do. But I don't want to. And you got D'Lo. Got to shout out D'Lo. He's a good player when he gets hot. But I'm not. It's not moving the needle for me. A winner for me, and it's not really. They didn't do a lot, but they did draft a good player, and that's the Minnesota Timberwolves. They drafted the player. He played for that team in blue, whatever. Who knows? He's a good player. He's a scorer. He can put the ball in the rock. I can put some pressure off of Ant Man. And if Ant Man takes that next step, ooh, they gonna do some damage next season. Obviously, New York Knicks, another team. They it's the Villanova Knicks now. They're the Villanova Knicks. They should be good. I don't know how well they'll be. Obviously, we know how that coach does. He likes to run them players to the ground. We'll see if he still does it. And I'm really interested if he's gonna mess up Michael Bridges' streak of not missing any games.
He will.
He's probably gonna mess it up. And lastly, on first team that came to my mind is OKC because they had a pretty good, not pretty good. They had a great year. They did some little things. They got Alex Caruso, a good player, a good veteran. He's been around. I wouldn't say a winning culture. He's been around a winning player like LeBron, so he knows how winning works. But
He
huh?
got he got a ring.
And he got a ring. But some people don't count that. I count it, but some people don't count that ring. He got a ring. So I believe that is a big get for OKC. I believe they're going to be good again. I believe Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be a better player. He's going to sneaky pick for MVP next season. So, hey, shout out to OKC. And uh the losers, The Brooklyn Nets. They
I
turned
don't
it
think
around.
so. They picked the direction. I wouldn't call them a loser though.
What would
They
you
pick-
call them?
they picked a. I mean, they a team. I mean, which I don't. They're not a winner, but I wouldn't call them a loser neither because
They wasn't doing nothing to begin with. Is that why?
I'm saying they at least got some draft capital. Look, why am I gonna keep this dude? He's not promoting us to be a playoff team. So okay, we got something for him.
I agree. I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
I
They
wouldn't call him a loser.
okay. They didn't move the needle. I don't know. They just didn't do nothing for me. I was like, okay, I guess I gotta wait and see what they do with them draft picks. That's why I gotta see what they do with them draft picks. So, but yeah, so lots and lots of moving around. I think that DeRozan to Sacramento is a good get. They had a down year last season. I think they have a better year. I don't know if they're going to make much noise. I think they had a good year, and then they had a down year, but it seems like everybody around them got a lot better in the West. So we'll see. But with all these moves in the NBA, what you see? Do you see everybody? You see Boston Celtics running it back, or you see somebody else taking that throne?
So I'm going. If I had to pick right now, early, way early prediction, I'm going with Boston because, like I said, they didn't lose anything. They brought everything back from a championship team. Another year of all together, and a lot of their dudes is still young. I mean, Drew's a little upper, and Al Horford is too, but they don't depend on Al Horford as much,
Yep.
so that's fine. The West,
It's crazy deep
the
right
West is like I don't know because it's so many. It's There's so many good teams. Then there's so many pretty good teams that you can see those pretty good teams and stuff fall their way. They could be a good team.
and make it to the finals.
So I would go with Denver, but my problem with going with Denver is I don't know how them young dudes is gonna play. If I knew how them young dudes is gonna play, I probably would pick Denver just barely over Oklahoma City right now.
Yeah.
If I knew how them young dudes is gonna play, but I don't, so I'm gonna go with Oklahoma City. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma City.
I'm
Joker's still the
go
best player in the league.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say, and we didn't talk about Dallas. Dallas also they got Clay Thompson. I gotta see what Clay shows up. Last time we saw Clay, he went over what 10.
I think he's gonna be better because I get this Golden State jersey off of me, and I get to go play in a different market where there's no history, there's no real expectations of me. I think he's gonna be better. Plus, they're not gonna ask him to do as much. Hey, you come off the bench, give us 17 points, we cool. He gonna be able to do that.
All you gotta do, hey, you see that corner over there? Stay right there. Luca gonna do a lot of dribbling, drive to the rim. They probably gonna collapse on it. We gonna kick it to you. Just hit that corner three.
He's gonna catch so many grenades, like grenades. These dudes dribble the ball so much. Now it's 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Here, throw the ball up. There's nobody better in this league than besides Steph. Nobody else is better to be in that position than Clay.
Okay.
Clay put up 30 points on 11 dribbles. Like, what are we talking about? And like, Clay's just different. So he go, hey, Luka to dribble, dribble, dribble. Kyrie to dribble, dribble, dribble. They gonna throw the ball to Clay in the corner. It's gonna be a lot of whackums. Just
So let's talk. There's two more teams we need to talk about. Both of them you're familiar with. One of them you don't like. One of them you love. We got to talk about before we get to the team you love. Let's talk about that Milwaukee Bucks. How you feeling about it? Obviously, Damian Lillard's gonna be a second year. They got Doc Rivers a full off season. Giannis healthy. Is the needle being moved for you a little bit? How you feeling? You know
Chris
they
Middleton.
can they can touch up on Boston a little bit.
Chris Middleton had a couple procedures on his feet this offseason.
Okay.
Them dudes is getting old. So I mean, and two of the Milwaukee Indiana games is on national TV this year. So that's dope. Yeah, no, Milwaukee. Milwaukee's what? Top of my head, fifth best team in the East.
Probably fourth or fifth, depending on.
I'm going fifth. I would put if I'm being real, Boston's one.
Yeah.
New York is probably two.
Yep.
I would put Philly at three. I would put Indiana at four. Then I'll put Milwaukee at five.
Yep.
So, and honestly, I really feel like I'll wait.
Mhm. So that's how you feel. So let's talk about your Indiana Pacers. No,
Honestly, thank you. I just want you to say the name. Honestly, I feel like they're probably number one. If I'm being honest, because Tyrese was playing like an MVP before he had the hamstring situation. I know he had a little situation over in the Olympics. He gonna take some time. He gonna get better. He gonna play like an all-star. We get a full off season with Pascal Siakam. They learn how to play with each other. Miles Turner, get over, get them. If Miles Turner could get a couple more rebounds a game, I really do think we'll be a better team.
speaking of rebounds, let's talk. I mean, y'all had two notable additions. I mean, y'all lost Jalen Smith, but y'all notable additions was James Wiseman, which I thought coming out of Memphis, I thought he's gonna be that guy. I thought the league messed up for allowing him to go to Golden State. He hasn't really turned out to be much of anything. I still think he still has that potential, but he still got some rebounds for you guys. Last season he averaged 9.9 points per game, 5.5 rebounds a game.
Is that notable? You said a notable
I'm
addition.
just going by what Bleacher Report is giving me, man. I'm going by my Bleacher Report list.
Bro, come on, we both know. Like I thought he was gonna be that dude coming out of Memphis too. I did too,
Yeah.
but he hasn't progressed, and
Uh,
he had the opportunity in Detroit a little bit. Now I ain't gonna say much with Golden State because Steph still had to have the ball. Draymond had to have the ball. Clay was getting his. Wiggins was getting his. So he didn't really have time to get the ball developed. He showed flashes. He does show flashes. I give him that. But is he a notable addition? And I would have rather kept Jalen Smith, because Jalen Smith gonna grab rebounds. He gonna attempt on defense, and he can shoot down the three. He can shoot the three, so he can still place the floor. Because Pascal Siakam does both, but he likes to get downhill and attack the basket a lot. So when Turner goes to the bench, Jalen Smith will still be over in that corner shooting them threes. Wiseman's not gonna do that.
no, he averaged 1 3 a game.
He's not. It's just ain't his game. So I mean, but I plus I like Jalen Smith. He just seemed like a cool dude. But I mean, we gonna see what Wiseman do. Like I said, I do think we the best team. I think we have potential to be a top two team in the East.
Yep. So in correction, that was Smith's stat line. I'm sorry. I was reading Smith's stat line. That was Smith's stat line. I was reading they don't have Wiseman's stat line on this. So
Wonder why?
my apologies. My apologies. But again, Indiana Pacers, I think it's probably gonna be Boston's season. We'll see. We'll get there though. We got plenty of time. We got about 2 months before the NBA season starts. But before we switch over to some NFL prediction, I have a question for you that I saw on Twitter. I just want your quick thoughts. This is local. It's a local thing. I saw that because they're talking about how the USA Women's National Soccer Team is coming to Louisville. Obviously, the Louisville Racing Soccer Team, the women's soccer team here in Louisville, they've been doing some big things. Somebody tweeted that maybe the NBA doesn't want to give us a NBA team, but what about a WNBA team? How would you feel if Louisville got a WNBA team?
Oh, I seen the mayor. I know he started talking about that last year. And I know he said he wants this Louisville to be a capital, a hub for women's sports. I know they got a LPGA event coming. It's kind of like the Ryder Cup. I can't think of the name, but it's their version of the Ryder Cup. It's coming in a couple of years. I would love it. Gives us something to do in the summer down this mud. Yeah, it gives us something to do in the summer. Shit,
I agree 100%. My only
support it.
my only reserve right now, it would be kind of a bad time considering the lady that's up there in Indianapolis right now. Indianapolis isn't that far from Louisville. Get the Indiana Fever in Indianapolis. If I'm the Fever, I'm like, please don't get Louisville a WNBA team. We don't need because a lot of Louisville people kind of just gravitated to the Indiana Fever because it's close, like you. So I can see the Indiana Fever not wanting it, maybe a little bit too close, but I would absolutely love it. But That's neither here nor there. We'll see what happens in the future.
I The one thing I would say is I think the Indiana Fever. I don't. If this was maybe like pre Caitlin Clark, I think they would be like, nah, we need all the help. We need all our people. But Caitlin Clark's bringing in everybody from around the world. So the simple fact they don't really need the Louisville money now. So I do think the one thing I would say if they do bring a WNBA team here, draft a Louisville or Kentucky player, at least have one of them associated with it,
Yeah.
so you get the local fan bases that's already really Louisville because we follow the women's basketball more than Kentucky does, but I say a Kentucky player too. Get It'll help move some of those Louisville U of L women basketball fans onto this WNBA, and it'll keep the game selling out and whatnot.
Okay.
But
So
I would again.
I love it. I would love it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But all right, so we are down to two more, not two more divisions, but two more compass directions. We got the North and the South. We're going with the South today, uh, which is home of one of your favorite team, the Tennessee Titans. We got the AFC South, NFC South. Before we get to the AFC South, where your Titans play, let's go ahead and knock out the NFC South, which has been probably the worst division in football the past couple years. Even when Tom Brady was there, it was like what 9-8 got you a division win. Like, come on now, that is terrible. So in the NFC South, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you have the New Orleans Saints, you have the Carolina Panthers, and you have the Atlanta Falcons. I believe this was a little bit easier to call out. So obviously, yeah, I mean, talking about bottom. I'm talking about when I'm talking about the floor. When I'm talking about the caboose.
Oh, okay.
Caboose is easier to a little bit call out than other divisions. It's gonna be the Carolina Panthers. They was the worst team last year. I don't see them getting much better. I'm sorry. I know your sister. She's a Carolina fan. I'm sorry. Tell her I'm sorry.
I'm just
It's
saying,
going
but I don't think the Saints is gonna be good either. But go ahead, it's your
Nah,
side.
they're not gonna be better than the Saints. The Saints ain't gonna be good, but the Saints is gonna be a little bit better, I think. But yeah, so Panthers, Saints, and this is when it gets a little tricky. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won it the last couple years. They had that man Tom Brady. Then they got Baker Mayfield, who isn't that man, but he's still a decent quarterback. 9-8 has won in the division. I don't know if it's gonna be like that, but I got the Buccaneers second and the Falcons at first. Should be you. I can see the Buccaneers win. I can see either it's gonna be the Buccaneers or the Falcons. I'm going with the Falcons.
Yeah, because you said this was easy. I don't know who to pick last, and I don't know who to pick first.
Okay, I assumed it was easy for me.
Because I think Carolina's going to be better. I think Bryce Young he had a one the coach probably shouldn't have got fired. Two, I also think he probably lost. I listened to a podcast from people up in they cover Carolina sports, but they talked about how you could look at Bryce Young and he lost faith in his offensive line and his weapons. So let's say if he don't lose the faith, imagine those weapons didn't get better. Offensive line probably didn't get that better that much neither. I think they're gonna be better. So that's why I said I think it's gonna be close between them and the Saints. Because honestly, I don't like what. Honestly, I didn't forget. I forgot the New Orleans Saints play football. Like nobody talks about them. They don't got a player that's worth even.
Alvin Kamara,
Come on, bro. Does that the one wide receiver that he said basically had all last year? I can't even think of his name.
Mike. I don't even worry about Mike. They got Chris Olave. They got that's you talking about Mike Thomas, but they got Chris
And
Olave.
I love Chris Olave. He probably a top 10 wide receiver, but get off that team, bro. Like you deserve better. Alvin Kamara, you've been down there for a long time. You've been putting in work. You've been winning people fantasy leagues. Bruh, you been costing me games. I never draft you. Other people do, and I'll be losing because of you. Bruh, you deserve better too. Like, go somewhere else. Request a trade. You deserve better. So for that reason, I'm going. I don't know. One of them two is going to be last, and one of them's going to be third. I don't know which one, what order to pick them in. Then the top two. Does Atlanta know who their quarterback going to be?
I thought they did until the draft, and then they drafted Michael Penix Jr.
Exactly. And then Michael Penix looked alright. It's preseason. I know. But he looked pretty good in that preseason game.
Yep, he did.
Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. He gonna win you some games. He also gonna lose you in the playoffs. So, do you really take a quarterback that high just to sit him behind Kirk Cousins for a whole year? Especially a quarterback that's older, because Michael Penix is he ain't like 2021.
He's like 23, 24, I think.
Yeah, he ain't. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know. One of them teams is gonna finish first. Because Tampa Bay, they won it last year, and they got Mike Evans. You know what he gonna do.
He gonna get you 1,000. Hey,
He gonna get you a
Death
thousand.
taxes, Mike Evans gets you 1,000. That's just what.
So, and Baker, you know what Baker gonna do? Baker he gonna make some places like that. He gonna make some places like,
Dang.
oh, I don't know. This you said this was easy. This is probably the hardest division to pick
I
because
mean, it's probably the worst one too.
it's a bunch of blah.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go with Tampa just because they won it last year, and
All
I'm
right.
I'm gonna pick Atlanta too because
All right, so we'll go to AFC. So I know your heart is a little heavy. Tennessee. They before we get a pick, look potentially a guy that used to wear that blue jersey, potentially your quarterback for the future. How you feeling? You okay?
he ain't my quarterback of the future.
All right, so let me go. Let's get right into it. AFC South. It houses the Tennessee Titans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans won it after the Jaguars literally just gave it away. They had it in the bag and they just gave it away last season. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and start out with the bottom. Sorry.
Then
Tennessee.
I'll end this Zoom. Hold on, bro. Let me tell you something. I will end this Zoom. Just go to number three. You ain't gotta go through all this extra stuff saying who's last. Just go to know who you got at number three.
All right, I got Indianapolis at number three. Anthony Richardson, he didn't play much because he got hurt. I gotta see something from him. He showed flashes of potential. Still ain't seen enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with you at three. Second one, you might be surprised. I'm going with the Houston Texans at second.
What are you doing?
Hold on. I'm going with the Houston Texans at second. And the reason why is because I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning it because of that monumental collapse they had. I see them coming into this season focused. And everybody's talking about Houston. They, hey, the game ain't the same when there's pressure on you. The game ain't the same when there's expectations. I got to see it again from CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud's second year, he was great last year. I got to see it again. I know you got some new weapons. I know you got Stephon Diggs. You got a great team around. You got Tank Dell. You got a great team. You got a great defense. But I wasn't confident. It's just me just going out on a limb, me trying to be different. And because of that monumental collapse Jacksonville have, I feel like they're going to come into this season focused and they're going to win the division probably late in the year. I could be wrong, but I'm just going out on a limb trying to be different. I got Jacksonville winning this division.
Okay. You know who Jacksonville? Do you know like their history?
I know what they got. I know their history. They know their history.
Okay.
That's why I'm thinking they gonna rewrite history.
Okay, it's not far fetched. When you start explaining the Texas situation, like it's everybody's like darling pig, they sleep a pig. Like and You have to do it 2 years in a row. I get it. I do get that. But the other team is Jacksonville. Like, what? It's the Jaguars. Nobody take them serious. They don't even take them serious. So what do we? You really beat them? Okay, cool. Would it surprise me if they win? No, but I ain't gonna expect them to win because again, it's Jacksonville. And honestly, I think Trevor Lawrence is great. But when he was coming out of college, everybody was treating him like he's the next one.
Yeah, he ain't that one.
He's the next one.
Uh,
Great. Don't get me wrong, he's great. Well, he showed flashes of being great. He's also showed flashes of being good.
Turnover prone a little bit, at least fumble wise. He's fumbled the ball a lot.
So, all right. So, number three, I'm picking. Honestly, thought about picking. I was really gonna pick Jack. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Jacksonville 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick the Colts at 2.
Houston won.
I'm lying. What am I playing? The Colts is 4, Tennessee's 3, Jacksonville's 2, the Texans is 1. I think we're gonna be better than people think we are. I know we lost Derrick Henry, and I know we got a quarterback that wore into the blue, so he ain't gonna be no good. But the rest of the team, we got wide receiver weapons. Running back's a little shaky. Not gonna lie.
Tony Pollard did look good in the preseason. He did.
Tony Pollard used to play for the other team, so
Yeah, he did.
on his helmet. So anybody that ever played for them, you really got to show me. I'm not even gonna lie, you got to show me. But I think our defense did improve. So I'm not saying we're gonna make the playoffs, but I do think we're gonna be better than Indianapolis because Richardson, the quarterback for the Colts, he's kind of injury prone. He played what, 4 games, 3 games,
I only think it was three. I don't think it was four. I think it was three.
and he got hurt in 2 of them.
Yep.
So I'm gonna pick them 4th, and I think Tennessee's gonna be better than people think, and then Jacksonville is Jacksonville. Like it, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Sound like it's something that we gotta talk about next week.
Yep. So we got the North next week. I think both of those are interesting divisions, especially the AFC. So we'll get to that next week, but we appreciate y'all listening to From Our Perspective podcast. These are From Our Perspective thoughts from us, from me and Q, from our perspective. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Please leave a comment of your perspective. We would like to read them. We might reply. We might not. Up to you. If it's a good perspective that we like. But again, like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you enjoy the show. Show number 51 is in the books. Captain Hater has been hating a lot.
I'm about to hate some more, cause go ahead.
Captain Hater's been hating a lot, so I'm gonna ask him for the 54th time. Send us home, Q.
You said the North, but we're gonna talk about the East next week. And my question is, why is the Cowboys in the East if they in Texas? That doesn't even geographically make sense. They're in Texas. Why y'all in the East? Philly, the Giants. What's the other team? Damn, I can't think of the other team.
Giants,
The Miami. Not Miami. They in the AFC East.
DC, Washington, DC.
Commanders. All of those teams are actually in the East, and they all right here. They all right here by each other. Y'all out there in no man's land. You gotta fly over 4, 5 states to get from y'all to y'all other team, but y'all in the East. They don't even. All right, bro. Yeah, it's your boy, Mr. Bill. I'll let y'all later because it don't make sense.
No.
All right, let me stop.